Hello everyone. Uh, I'm Mr. Sunil Bakre, MSc MBA DSM PG DEMA with 25 years of teaching experience with innovative teaching learning methodologies. Currently, I am functioning as a master trainer and resource person for the Central Board of Secondary Education and also a resource person for British Council and Cambridge for a newly introduced program of competency based education, and also I'm a master trainer for teachers education, students trainings, as well as parents advocacy programs. I have conducted almost more than 80 trainings up till now for the teachers, students, as well as parents advocacy program for the child development. And I am a awardee of many of the national and international awards at my credit. So today, the topic we have selected is a very important topic, and that topic is activity based teaching learning pedagogies. So we are going to discuss this topic today, that is what are activity based teaching learning pedagogies, how it can be implemented, and how it can be more effective for the teaching learning of the student. So dear teachers, let's begin our topic, that is activity based teaching learning pedagogies. We all are very well aware with the Chinese proverb by a great philosopher Confucius, who said that if I hear, I forget, if I see, I remember, and if I do, I understand. So he related this acquisition of understanding and knowledge directly to the living and experiencing. So it is very important what he has said, that if I do, I understand, I apply. So therefore teaching learning process can be made more effective by implementing the activity based teaching learning methodologies, teaching learning pedagogies. And activity based learning is a process of learning by doing a playway method. That is, if children are made to play, perform the activities, they can learn more, they can develop their skills instead of rote learning. Rote learning is not at all effective. It is a very traditional method, that is gaining the knowledge from the textbooks and pouring it in the class on the students, but that is not at all effective. The students are passive learners. Students are passive learners. The reason is what? The class is of 40-45 minutes. The learning span of students is more than 10 to 15 minutes, as it is said by many more researchers and philosophers. They have said that 10 to 15 minutes they can maintain their span of learning. So beyond this, if you go, they are just passive learners, passive listeners, and there is no any kind of learning actually taking place. And we are having false satisfaction that we taught in the class for 45 minutes, but it is of no use. So therefore, this activity-based learning, the activity-based pedagogy is found to be very effective because there is active participation of the students in teaching learning. There is a own learning experiences through practical activities, and there is the skill based education. There is a development of multiple skills among the students. Now we all know that teaching is nothing but a kind of process where there is a development of all the things in the child, that is head, heart, and hands. So when there is a development of this cognitive, psychomotor, and all these domains together, then there is a type of holistic development in the child. So there is a mental development, there is a physical involvement of the child during activity based learning. And activity based curriculum, now we will discuss what is activity based curriculum. An activity based curriculum is a kind of center, it is centering around the child development, and it is a child centered education. Very important is child centered education, not a teacher centered education, where the child is kept in the center, and there is an interactive way knowledge is earned by the students, gained by the students in an interactive way through creative tasks, and earns competency and mastery learning. Very important is mastery learning and competency. The child should earn the competency, then there is a point in teaching learning. Otherwise this is just a formal process that takes place in the usual and general classes. Now when we are implementing the curriculum based which is based on activity based pedagogy, activity based learning, it is having n number of benefits for the child if it is imposed in a very proper way. Now let's move towards the benefits. What are the types of benefits the child can get through this process of activity based teaching learning? Now here there is a creative thinking. Child will develop the creative thinking. Very important, the child should become more creative, because in 21st century skill creativity is given more and important, because child should be very active, child should be more creative. There will be a increasing demand in 21st century in the coming 10 to 15 years. If the child is very creative, the child will be a great demand, the child will be able to lead a good life and do something very important and creative in the life. Similarly, there is fun in learning, very important. There is a fun in learning, there is interest in learning. So students will able to interact with the group, interact with their peers and with the teacher, discuss it. Because here teacher's role is like a facilitator, not a teacher, but a facilitator, a kind of guide. And then there is a kind of a collateral development, or a kind of combined development that takes place among the children. Then there is a teamwork, there is a development of teamwork skills among the children. They will develop peer learning, peer teaching type of methodologies. And similarly, the activity based learning engages the children a lot with different learning styles. As there are teaching styles, there are also learning styles. The child will be involved in the learning styles, and that will be benefiting. First is visual, second is auditory, and third is the kinesthetic learning. So this is the main development that takes place in the child, and it is not a monotonous. It is not at all a monotonous, but development of the visual skills, auditory skills, and kinesthetic skills also. But there are some challenges when we are implementing the activity-based teaching learning pedagogies curriculum. There should be a proper planning by the teacher. Very important. If there is no proper planning, there is a possibility that it will not work out in a very effective way or in a very purposeful way. So planning is very important. There are certain challenges, not necessary that is posing a type of question to the students. Their thinking skills has to be increased. The thinking skill has to be provoked, so that they will think in a multiple way, and they will use all nine multiple intelligences in the activity based learning. That is just this kind of spark has to be developed by the teacher, and then nine multiple intelligence which is there in every brain will be activated, and it will be brought into use, it will be made as a kind of resource. Now see, when it is very effective, our child will learn many more skills, there are many more developmental processes that will take place. But from the point of view of examination, assessment also we have to think. Now during this activity based learning, assessment has to be done. While assessing, the child has to be assessed for the learning and of the learning and by the learning. Means there will be a kind of assessment which will be, a formative type of assessment, small type of assessment process has to be carried out. And this a small assessment process will give the feedback whether your activity based project, activity based learning and teaching methodology is working out in a proper way or not. Therefore it has to be very skillfully handled. And there is a kind of striking balance between the activities and the formal methods, and there is a kind of longer type of plan which is required for conducting this activity. Now when we are implementing this, there are a few more benefits which are there. Students have a self-learning pace. They will learn at their own pace, with their own innovative ways they will learn. That is very important. Then analyzes the process of interaction between a child and the world. In activity-based learning, there is an interaction between the child and the surrounding world. The child will learn many more things from the surrounding, what occurs, which are a kind of complex tasks. Through the activity-based learning, the education takes place, all-round development takes place, and there is a kind of contrast with skill, but they are closely linked. All these things are closely linked. Child will able to disclose, child will able to create a circuit among all these things, and it will work out very well. Now, as I said, very important part here is the planning of the activities. Activities has to be planned. Topic has to be selected. Proper planning has to be done. But right from the beginning till the end, that is assessment, feedback, or remedial measures, that is the last concluding part, it has to be planned. So here there can be three processes, that is learning, relearning, and unlearning. So here certain things also takes place, that is the child will learn certain things, child will again unlearn certain things through the experiences, and again child will relearn. So these three processes will take place, and which will create a kind of concrete learning. So planning of these activities are found to be very, very important. Now planning of the activities are mainly the lesson what is selected will be activity based type of chapter, topic, or unit, whatever so you call it as. Then you need to analyze the need of the activity. What is the need of the Now, up till now, we have seen how to plan out the activity. We have planned the activity. Now, how to implement. While implementing it also, the teacher has to keep in mind all types of pros and cons, all type of positive, negative thing that can happen while implementing. So when you are implementing, the teacher is implementing the activity-based teaching learning pedagogies in the class, in a group of students, then it requires active problems. That is, a kind of problem should be posed before the children. Then the children will start thinking on it. They will able to do it, means kind of critically think over it. Creatively they will think over it. They will find a solution, a kind of pattern in the information through their own investigation. Very important thing will be children will able to investigate something in this, do kind of small research in this, and they will able to analyze, they will able to differentiate here, and then it will be continued a kind of practice or process, and students will learn not the content of the lesson but develop many more skills. Very important part of activity based teaching learning is the children will able to learn many more skills, develop many more skills, understand what is the potential in them, and here it will actively they are involved. Otherwise, in the traditional method, there is a kind of passive learning. Children are just sitting in the class and they are just passive listeners to the teacher. Teacher is collecting the knowledge from the textbook, pouring it over the children, and children just listen. They just write down the notes, and whatever notes they write, they read it, they learn it, and then this can be poured in the answer sheet of the examination, which is called as assessment. And here there is a kind of formal procedure, that is pouring the pot from one place and just spilling it out on the answer sheets in the question paper and answer paper. So this will be not a kind of outcome based education. Activity based of education can bring outcome based education, and learning outcome target can be achieved. There will be competency based learning. Children will gain the competencies, develop the skills. That is very important. But when they develop all these things, they should be given enough scope to express themselves, present themselves. Here the children will be able to present themselves, expose their idea. There can be exposure for their idea. Whatever they have learned, they will expose this. They will present this in their own words, and where you'll find what the child has learned, and that is a kind of assessment. You can do it, a kind of formative assessment that will take place, and the teacher can easily understand exactly what the child has learned, how much the child has learned, what all the child has learned, what is the kind of scale of skill development in the child. So activity based teaching learning can give, first is exploration. That is, they will able to gather the knowledge, they will able to acquire the skills, they will able to develop the skill and explore their knowledge, explore their potential, expose their skills. That is very important. Next part comes is experimentation. During activity based learning, child will perform many more experiments, many more activities, and there also the child will able to gather the knowledge, gain the experiences. Very important. The children will able to gain the experiences. When the child will gain the experiences, that is a lifelong learning. Very important will be, it will be connected to the real life. Today education should be given for real life connect. Education should be connected to the real life. Child should be able to implement, apply this knowledge in the form of daily life routine experiences, and that is all called as the problem solving skills. Child will develop the problem solving skills. Child will develop the creativity type of skills. Now next is expression. Child should given a great scope to express himself. The child will able to express his views, express his thoughts, and present himself, that what all child has learned, what were his experiences learning, and there will be a holistic development, that is all-round development, which is the aim of education, ultimate aim, ultimate goal of education. And the activity based learning, very important part is, it keeps the students busy. It keeps the students busy. There is a development of social skills. Social skills are also developed during the activity based learning. Very important, because these days developing the social skills is also found to be very important part, and children really need it. Development of the social skill is a very important part, and child will also able to develop the that is keeping in mind all these, that is exploration, experimentation, and expression. And there is a 100% type of gaining of knowledge. Apart from this, as per the Bloom's taxonomy, what we go, the child will able to remember, the child will able to understand, the child will remember the concept, the child will understand the concept, whatever concept they have learned, the child will able to do the kind of judgment, the child will able to judge the type of concept. Similarly, the child should also able to analyze. Analysis should be done by the child. Learning is should not be like a monotonous one way. Whatever is taught, the child should able to analyze it. There should be critical thinking, they should able to think critically. Critical thinking is thought to be very important part. As long as they will not critically think, if there is no kind of outcome from that type of teaching or that type of learning here. So they should able to do the critical thinking on every point. They should able to judge, they should able to analyze, they should able to think critically, put on their weaves, right? And this all can be obtained by means of observation skill. The child should able to observe all the activities, whether the child is involved in the activity or maybe the child is observer, but the child should able to observe. So observation is also a very good skill. All these are the very good skill. Understanding or active listening is a very good skill. Making judgment is a very good skill. Analyzing, critically thinking is a skill. All these skills can be very nicely, very properly developed and exposed by the child. Similarly, child should able to evaluate. The ultimate goal of teaching learning, the child should able to evaluate whatever things are posed before the child should able to evaluate it. Means after evaluation, the child should get a kind of idea, knowledge, skill of problem solving. The child will able to sort out, we can say, and do the kind of problem solving, learn the skill of problem solving, right? And after this, the ultimate part comes is creation, creativity. All these skills, when they are developed, when the child will able to do develop all these skills, then there can be a new kind of creation. The child will able to do some kind of creativity, and creativity is utmost important in today's world, because till now, up till now, by rote learning method, there was no any kind of development in the child. Because in rote learning, what was there, there was the formal, the teacher will come in the class, teach whatever topic is there, child will listen in the class, take down the notes, learn that notes, and read it, by heart it, pour it in the answer paper, gain the marks. And that was a kind of framed, a kind of structured teaching learning. And we are ought to come out of all this rote learning and traditional teaching learning method. So creation is very important. The child should able to create something. It is not that the child will able to do very big kind of innovation or a very big kind of research, very big kind of a discovery, but small things also can be done by the child. There can be experimentation. I always give kind of experimentation to the child. I always give some kind of small examples. Suppose there is a kind of teaching learning going on, and a child is not able to. I always tell my children that if a child is able is writing in the class, taking down the notes, and suddenly the pen of the child stops working, I always ask the child, what will you do if your pen stops working? Will you sit quietly in your class and just look at the teacher, but my pen is not working? You just test this in your class. Ask the children that if such things happen in the class, what all you'll do? The child will give the answer. The child will tell you what kind of activity the child will do, what kind of innovation, what kind of research the child will do. The child will not sit quietly. The child will take the pen, then go on making like this, because that creates a pressure, and the child will just go on scribbling. If it is not working, the child will take out the refill and rub. Heat is produced, heat is provided, and the heat is provided. Then again he will scribble. Still not working, the child will able to blow the air pressure. When the child will apply the air pressure, it might start working. Or the child will again shake the pen. That he'll again take out the lid of the refill, again blow the air, put it. Means the air bubble is removed. Again air pressure. So many more, n number of activities the child will carry out till the pen starts working. And the pen starts working is a creation. All that process which goes on is a kind of experimentation, activity, and outcome is pen starts working. The child will understand, if I blow this refill like this way, it starts working. That is a kind of innovation, that is a kind of research, that is a kind of discovery, we can say. And you always call your child as a scientist. Not only this, there are many more activities. If the child is having a lock and the child has lost the key of the lock. What all the child does to the trunk? He will take a kind of wire, a kind of string, a kind of piece of metal. He'll put it in the kind of lock and go on rotating, just pulling that lock, pressing that lock, just twisting it, and just putting that kind of wire, the kind of string inside a nail, just putting it, or take some other metal thing and put it in. How long? Till the lock opens. Lock opening is the outcome. It is a research. It is a kind of innovation the child has done. And this activity, this experimentation has brought the outcome that if I rotate in this way, it opens. So here the child has performed the activity. In the class also, we have to perform the activity. In languages, there are so many activities. Suppose we are considering in the languages, there can be many more role plays. Then can be storytelling, enacting can be an activity. The child will learn. The child is getting involved. So here, if you conduct the role play activities for the languages, then you can understand uh, what kind of learning takes place. Suppose you are teaching about the hut or the house, and if the child will stand like this way, the others will understand that this is a hut. Means his observation skills will develop, analysis skills will develop, and the child who are involved in the activity, that is a house or a tree, whatever different activities can be conducted. In history, geography, I will tell you in geography, ask the child to conduct a kind of survey, ask the child to collect the samples of soil or collect the different types of stones. This is a kind of activity. Child will happily go out and collect different types of soil, different types of stones, and analyze it, differentiate it, and, distinguish it, and group it. These are the different types of skills. In science also, I'll tell you 70% of the science classes should be conducted in the laboratory, and then only there is a proper learning. In the class, hardly 30% should go on in the class. Rest of the things will should go on in the laboratory. Child should perform the activity at home. As long as they will not do it activity, there is no motor skill development. Very important thing is motor skill development. Nowadays, because of his laptop and computers and all that, there is no kind of motor skill development among the children. Right from the KG, motor skill development should be there, thinking skills should be there, or design thinking should be there, or we can say that development of the motor skill is there. Holistic development can take place only when activities are conducted. Activities can teach them many more things that the teacher can teach. They will learn at their own pace. So all these subjects, whichever subject is there, all the subjects are having the activities. It totally depends on the teacher how you conduct the activities, when you conduct the activities, how you guide and facilitate the children to do the activity, how you provoke the children to conduct the activities. And once they are provoked, they are well aware to conduct the activities. Activities can be conducted very well by them. Active participation of each child in all these activities will be very powerful tool of teaching learning. The teacher will understand the difference, and the teacher will able to differentiate what kind of miracle that has taken place by the method of teaching learning, which can take place through activity, implementing the activity based teaching learning pedagogy. And I guarantee you, I assure you, I experimented this, that the child will able to learn, the child will able to gain the knowledge, the child will able to gain the concrete concepts, as well as there will be competency based education that is gained by the children. There will be mastery of learning. The child will get aware of himself. The child will connect the learning experiences with the real life, and there is a problem solving. Problem solving can take place only by means of activity based learning, not mere by pouring the lecture method or dictator or the authorization type of experiences or dictation type of teaching which goes on in the class. There is no any kind of input in the child. There is only a false satisfaction by the teacher that I have completed my syllabus, I have completed my topic, and I have taught. But what is the actual outcome of this point? What is the actual learning experiences the child has gained? Whether the child has really learned something or whether there is a formal type of teaching that has taken place. Much more difference takes place by implementing the activity based learning, and it will provoke child themselves are prone to perform the activities. If you don't perform the activities in the class, child will perform some other activities at some other place, which can be a nuisance. So if you keep them busy in conducting the activities in your class, the child will not create a nuisance by conducting the activity outside the class somewhere else. Here there is a very important thing is social skill development. Social skill development also take place by means of the development by the activity. So also evaluation is also done, assessment is also done by the teacher, micro assessment, micro evaluation can be done by the way of formative assessments. Every time summative assessments are not important. Summative assessment will go for the only rote learning methodologies, or what the child is able to remember, what the child, not the what the child has grasped, but how much the child can recall, how much the child can learn by heart and pour it in the answer paper. That is the ultimate goal, and that is not at all accepted in the 21st century education psychology. But creativity, keeping the child busy in the activity, making education more joyful, and automatically this will reduce the dropouts. If you make the students very happy, if there is a joyful teaching learning, the children will retain in the school. If there is a kind of structured learning, if the teaching is having boundaries that this much you will have to learn by heart, pour it, write it in the answer paper, you will get 100 out of 100 marks. The child will prone to copy, make kind of dicto from the books, wrong practices, malpractices, earn the marks. And there is no development. Other side you'll see the child is diverting towards a wrong way. So very important thing is activity based teaching learning pedagogy is found to be very effective, very useful for the children. And if this is planned well by the teacher, it is very nicely implemented by the teacher, it is assessed by the teacher, evaluated by the teacher in a typical way, it is found to be very kind of effective tool. And there is 100% concrete learning, competencies are learned, mastery is learned, there is a kind of critical thinking developing, creativity developing in the mind of the child, and that will give the real outcomes what is required by the teacher. So let us come out of this traditional method, let us come out of this orthodox thinking of going by the routine method of coming with a chalk and board, and the child pen and notebook. That has a very limited outcome, that has a very limited impact on the mind of the child, development of the child. And formal method has almost gone out, it is vanished now. Let's come out of it and let's move towards a new path. Let's move towards a new innovative path, that let the children remain active, let the children remain involved in the activities, let them learn at their own pace, let all-round development takes place, let holistic development takes place of the child, let all the nine multiple intelligence which are present with the child are brought into use. Let the child learn all the skills, develop all the skills. Let the child make some kind of activity of his own choice. Out of that also the child will learn, surely, I guarantee. So when these practices are there in the education, education becomes a very important tool. And the same sentence what I started with the uh, in the beginning, when I hear I forget, so when I do I remember. So let them do, let them learn by doing, and let them expose themselves, present themselves, keep experimenting, keep learning, keep doing, keep busy, and keep thinking. Thinking skill is also very important skill. Active listening is also very important skill. Peer development, social development, which is lacking these days, social development of the child will also take place. So very important part. I would like to again conclude my this session that activity based teaching learning pedagogy is found to be the most effective tool of teaching learning if the teacher will implement very carefully, very effectively, and the child development takes place on a very large scale. So with this I would like to conclude this session of teaching learning pedagogy. I expect all of you will come out of this traditional way, and let's practice, let's go towards the next milestone, that is activity based teaching learning pedagogy, and make the all round development, holistic development, creative child, let's create a creative child in by our teaching learning. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I would like to thank Basma ma'am for giving this opportunity to me and presenting myself before the teachers of Syria and the Arab countries. I'm really thankful, Basma ma'am, and I'd like to come back again with the different topics of teaching learning and share with you all what I practice in India. Thank you so much. Namaste.